Hello everybody, a very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to yet another dhamakedar, faratedar and mazdar session by Pritesh, your host, your dost and a proud educator from Embibe, welcoming you to this super amazing, super informative and a very important one shot, yes guys, one shot session of your grade 9 chapter fundamental unit of life. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. Today we'll be talking about this very interesting topic of your grade 9, that is fundamental unit of life. Entire chapter हम cover करेंगे one shot में. It is going to be almost a 2-hour class. I'll try my best to cover it as fast as possible and सारे जो भी topics हम लोग cover कर लेंगे और हम fundamental unit of life को one shot में कवर कर देंगे, ठीक है. So before we move ahead, I want all of you to pay a quick visit on this amazing Embibe page, which is your one-stop destination to anything and everything that a student can ever ask for. Whether it is test, assignment, study material, whether it is questions, solution, explanation to solutions, reference books, NCERT textbooks, anything and everything, Embibe page is your go-to place. Apart from that, I also want all of you to connect with us on our Telegram channel, that is Embibe Achieve CBSE 9th and 10th, by just scanning this QR code. Scan this QR code and connect with us on our Telegram. ठीक है, चलिए. Telegram channel will give you a sneak peek into the YouTube channel. You can ask your doubts, you can get your doubts cleared, you will get the PDFs of the classes, you will also get the timetable of whatever is going to happen on the channel by scanning the QR code and connecting with us on Telegram. So make sure that you do it. And now, without any further delay, we talk about the chapter fundamental unit of life. ठीक है, चलिए. We begin with all the topics that we are going to do today, that is discovery of cell by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. We'll be talking about how cells were discovered, then we'll be talking about how Antony van Leeuwenhoek discovered the moving cells, which he called animalcules or living cells, in the year 1674. We'll be talking about the cell theory given by Schleiden, Schwann and Virchow in 1838, 1839 and 1855 respectively. 1855 or 65 it is, sorry, 65 respectively. Then prokaryotic cell, the cells without a well-defined nucleus and a nuclear membrane, and eukaryotic cells. We'll be also talking about all the different cell organelles, their location, structure and function. We begin with the discovery of cell. So the cells were first discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665 when he saw the bark cells of an oak tree. What did he see? He saw the bark cells of an oak tree. These were nothing but dead cells. Now when he saw these cells under a microscope, it was his own self-made microscope, he realized that these reminded him of the small rooms in which monks used to live in that times, and those rooms were called cellula in Latin, and that is how from that word cellula the word cell came, which was coined by Robert Hooke. So Robert Hooke saw the cells of the bark cells of an oak tree under his own self-made microscopes. The cells reminded him of the rooms in which monks used to live in the 16th century, and that is how he called them cells, because the word cellula in Latin means small or tiny rooms. ठीक है? Then 9 years later, in the year 1674, Sir Antony van Leeuwenhoek saw living cells for the first time in a better version of a microscope. He saw the cells of the mussels, he saw the bacteria, and because they look like small animals, he called them animalcules. ठीक है? He called them animalcules. In 1831, Robert Brown, he discovered nucleus for the first time. Few days back, I think last week, we did a session on all about nucleus. In that we understood that how the nucleus was first discovered in 1831 by Robert Brown. Nucleus is the darkest and the largest cell organelle, very easy to identify. In 1839, Purkinje coined the term protoplasm. What do you mean by protoplasm? Protoplasm is the living part of the cell. ठीक है? It is the living part of the cell, that is called as the protoplasm. Your cytoplasm and the nuclear membrane, everything together, we call it as the protoplasm. ठीक है? This term was coined by Purkinje in the year 1839. Then we got the cell theory, which was given by Schleiden in 1838, Schwann in 1839, and in 1855, as I told you, Rudolf Virchow in the year 1855 gave the cell theory. All these three people, Schleiden, Schwann and Virchow, gave the cell theory, which said that cells are the fundamental unit of life. Every living organism is made of cell, and cells arise from pre-existing cell. So Schleiden and Schwann said that all living organisms are made of cells and cells are the fundamental unit of life, and Rudolf Virchow in the year 1855 said that cells arise from pre-existing cells. These are the three postulates of the cell theory. It is very, very important. It is a very much guaranteed question in the exam also, that what are the postulates of the cell theory. So what are the postulates of the cell theory? Cells are the fundamental unit of life, all living organisms are made of cells, and cells arise from pre-existing cells. These are the three postulates of the cell theory. Then when we talk about cells being the basic unit of life, just like any building is made of bricks, similarly any organism is also made of cells. Cells group together to form tissues, tissues form organs, organs form organ systems, and organ systems form organism. So for every living organism, whether it is a plant, animal, or a unicellular organism, or a multicellular organism, or a human, or a bird, or a fish, all living organisms are made of cells, and that is why cell is the fundamental unit of life. Then cell is the structural and functional unit of life of living organisms. Group of cells form tissues, tissues form organs, organs form organ systems, and organ systems together form an organism. So you can say that every living organism is made of cells, because cells, similar cells group together to form tissues, similar tissues group together to form organs, similar organs group together to form the organ system, and all the organ systems together make up the organism. What are we? We are basically the accumulation of all the organ systems of our body. Organ systems are made of organs. Like if you talk about the respiratory system, it is made of lungs, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, your larynx, pharynx, nostrils, etc. So that is your respiratory system. It is made of different organs. And what is every organ made of? Every organ is made of tissues. And what are every tissues made of? Tissues are made of cells. Okay? Then organisms can be unicellular, where one single cell performs all the functions, like amoeba, paramecium, and organisms can be multicellular, where different different cells perform different function, where the functions are designated to different types of cells. So unicellular organism, it's a one-man army. One cell will only do all the functions like respiration, excretion, nutrition, digestion, assimilation, everything, reproduction, everything will be controlled by that one cell. As you can see over here, this is paramecium. Okay? Then multicellular organism means there are different cells performing different functions. Like you can see in the human, there are different organs. Every organ has different function, like the lungs are associated with respiration, the alimentary canal is associated with digestion, the brain and the spinal cord is associated with nervous system. So different organs perform different function. A brain will never help to digest, and the stomach will never help to excrete, and the intestines will never help to breathe, right? So different organs are assigned different functions in a multicellular organism. But in a unicellular organisms, all the functions are carried out by the same cell. Then the size of the cell depends on its location and function. Some cells are very, very small in size, like the bacteria, they are the smallest cell. Then some cells are very, very big in size, like the ostrich egg, it is a single cell which is largest in size. Then some cells are very, very long, that if you talk about human body, so neuron is the longest cell of the human body. Male sperm is the smallest cell in the human body, and female ovum is the largest cell in the human body. So the size and the shape of the cell depends on its function and location. Okay? So amoeba doesn't have any shape. RBCs are biconcave in shape. Why do RBCs have biconcave shape? As you can see over here, so RBCs have biconcave shape because they have to increase the surface area so that they can accommodate maximum oxygen and accommodate maximum carbon dioxide, while exhalation and while inhalation maximum oxygen, and that is why RBCs have a biconcave shape. Similarly, neurons are very long. They have got cyton on one end and dendrons on the and axon on the other. Muscle cells are spindle shape, again because of contraction and relaxation functions. Sperm cells are the smallest cell. Ovum is the largest cell. Bone cell, you can see it is like a star shape called osteocytes. Here is a question for all of you. The question is that choose the correct statement with respect to unicellular organisms. In unicellular organisms, tissues work in coordination to perform different functions. They do not require food, they respire and reproduce, or they move by cilia. Which is correct with respect to unicellular organisms? Think and answer. I'll give you 30 seconds. Your time starts now. चलिए 10 more seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Hi Arathi, very good evening, very good afternoon. So you are saying A is the correct answer. Let's see Arathi, I'll go with you. So the correct answer is not A, it is C. Unicellular organism, tissues working coordination. We know that a group of cells form the tissues, but here we are talking about unicellular organism which are only one cell. So tissues का तो मतलब question आता ही नहीं है. They do not require food, no. We already know that life processes include nutrition, excretion, then transportation, respiration and reproduction. We know that every living organism will carry out these 5 processes, so they do not require food is not correct. They move by cilia, not necessary. Some move by cilia, some move by flagella, some move by pseudopodia. So this is also not correct, but yes, definitely they carry out respiration and reproduction. So your C is the correct answer. Looking at the solution for this particular question, a single cell organism performs all the necessary function which that multicellular organisms perform. They are amoeba, for example, it captures and digests food, respires, excretes, grows and reproduces. So that is why C becomes your correct answer. They definitely respire and reproduce. Now, this is a bacteria. Again, we are talking about a unicellular prokaryote. Prokaryotes are unicellular, and luckily, very good evening Ashish, luckily you have got only 2 examples of prokaryotes. What are those? That is bacteria and cyanobacteria. These are the only 2 examples of prokaryotes. So prokaryotes पढ़ना बहुत ज़्यादा आसान है. Cyanobacteria is also called as blue-green algae. They are primitive. Pro मतलब क्या? Pro मतलब primitive. ठीक है? And karyos is nucleus. The one which have primitive nucleus are prokaryotes. ठीक है? Primitive nucleus यानी कि no well defined nucleus or the nuclear membrane. You can see in the case of a bacteria that the entire nuclear material is just freely suspended over here. The entire nuclear material is just freely suspended and we call it nucleoid. What do we call it? Nucleoid. So this is nothing but the nucleoid of the bacteria. It doesn't have a well defined nucleus or a nuclear membrane. It has a very primitive kind of nucleus and that is why we call it prokaryote. ठीक है? They lack membrane bound cell organelles. Ribosomes are very very small in size and we call them mesosomes. ठीक है? Then we talk about eukaryotic cells. So they have a well defined nucleus and a nuclear membrane, and they have a cell membrane. Also they have the nucleus which carries DNA, that is the hereditary material. So all plant and animal cells are eukaryotes. Prokaryote के हमारे पास सिर्फ 2 examples हैं, bacteria and blue green algae all the other types of cells are eukaryotic cells. So we have only 2 prokaryotic cells, all others are eukaryotic cells. See over here, you can see that how different functions are happening inside the eukaryotic cell. See, these are the centrioles, Golgi, endoplasmic reticulum, rough and smooth, nucleus, lysosomes, mitochondria and vacuoles. Can you see so beautiful a cell is? I can go as much inside as I want. Ribosomes. So this is the benefit of learning on Embibe. You can actually go inside the cells and understand. And that is why if you are enjoying this video, make sure that you give it a big fat thumbs up. Share this video with your friends in school WhatsApp groups and subscribe to the channel because it's absolutely free. Arathi will be doing each and every cell organelle in detail today. Don't worry. Okay? Chalo, we move ahead and we talk about parts of the eukaryotic cell. We'll be doing all these parts. So we have cell membrane made of proteins and lipids, nucleus, cell organelles scattered in the cytoplasm. Cell membrane में हमारे पास है, it is a phospholipid layer, it is a layer which is made of lipids and proteins. Nucleus में हम बात करेंगे nucleus, nucleolus, nuclear membrane and nucleoplasm की. And cell organelles में हम बात करेंगे centrioles, Golgi, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, etc. etc. ठीक है? चलो. We start with the cell membrane. We also call it plasma membrane. ठीक है? It is outside the cell. It separates one cell from the other. It is porous and allows the movement of the material both inward and outward. Cell membrane is semi-permeable. ठीक है? It is made up of lipids and proteins. Got it? It is made of lipids and proteins. Cell membrane, also called as plasma membrane, we can also call it plasma lemma. Got it? चलिए. The cell membrane is selectively permeable or semi-permeable. It will control what will go in and out of the cell. Diffusion and osmosis are two kinds of transport of molecules without the expenditure of energy. So you can see that this is a cell membrane. You can see that how there are different kinds of materials present. ठीक है? Protein and lipids in between. ठीक है? These are the lipids, proteins. ठीक है? So here you will see osmosis and diffusion both happening. It is semi-permeable and it will control what will go in and out of the cell. Diffusion is the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration with no energy usage. Like for example of diffusion is, if you light an agarbatti in one corner of the room, the entire room will spread. The entire room will have the smell of the agarbatti, because where the agarbatti is lit, there the concentration of smell is more. In other parts the concentration of cell is less, so it goes from more concentration to less concentration without any energy expenditure, right? So that is diffusion, from higher concentration to lower concentration without any energy expense. But when you talk about osmosis, so it is also from higher to lower concentration but across a semi-permeable membrane. It is very important that you know semi-permeable membrane. Few months back I had done a short on the same channel on diffusion versus osmosis. Please watch that short. It is a 1-minute video where I have explained the difference between osmosis and diffusion. So please try and watch it. It will be really helpful. Osmosis on the other hand is a passive movement. It happens only in water. Osmosis is only of water, whereas diffusion can be of solid, liquid and gases. It's mostly liquid and gases only. So Diffusion is liquid and gases, and osmosis is only and only water. So that is the main difference between osmosis and diffusion. Yes, Arathi, I remember that you have watched it. Very good. See, this is an amazing video on osmosis. From higher concentration to lower concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. The membrane is very, very important. It's movement of water molecules. Then we move ahead and we talk about active transport. So there are two types of, thank you Arathi, there are two types of transports, active and passive. During active transport, it is from an area of lower concentration to higher concentration. Here you will use energy, that is ATP. Okay? In active transport, you are spending energy to do the transport from lower to higher, and this energy will be in the form of ATP. Whereas in passive transport, there is no expense of energy. Cell wall is completely free, it is freely permeable, it does not have any restrictions. Cell wall in plants provide protection against change in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. So the cell wall can be made up of cellulose, lignin or peptidoglycan. The cell wall can be made of lignin, chitin, cellulose or peptidoglycan. ठीक है, the cell wall can be made of these different, ठीक है, cell wall can be made of these different things. It can be lignin, chitin, cellulose or peptidoglycan. ठीक है, please have a look. चलिए, then we talk about the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, cytos means of the cell and plasma is the fluid, so it is the fluid of the cell. Cytoplasm is also called as chemical wealth of the cell because all the chemical reaction take place over here. It is a jelly like fluid, ठीक है, and it has all cell organelles suspended in it, ठीक है. The area of the cell, the area of the cytoplasm without any cell organelles is called as cytosol. For example, if I see this region doesn't have any cell organelles, so I'll call it cytosol. This region doesn't have any cell organelles, so I'll call it cytosol. This region doesn't have, so I'll call it cytosol. ठीक है? So cytosol is the area of the cytoplasm without any cell organelles. Remaining all the cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm. Which are those? So over there we have got ribosomes, mitochondria, nucleus, centrioles, etc., etc. Tell me, the jelly like fluid present in the cell is called? It is called protoplasm, chromosome, chloroplast or cytoplasm. What do we call the jelly like fluid present in the cell? Very easy, come on, I'll give you 30 seconds. Easy peasy, Japanesey. Thank you Hashir, thank you for your answer. Chalo. Last 5 seconds. So Hashir, you have told D. Let's see. Absolutely great. Very good. D is the correct answer. It is the jelly-like fluid present in the cell. That is called as the cytoplasm. ठीक है? it has got all the cell organelles present in it, and the region without any cell organelles is called as cytosol. Now, the cell organelles can be single membraned like ER, lysosome, Golgi apparatus, vacuoles, double membraned like plastids, mitochondria, nucleus, or without any membranes also like ribosomes and centrosomes. So, we will be seeing all these in detail. We start with endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is like the assembly line of the cell. What it does is it just transports everything the nucleus makes to the cytoplasm and to the cell membrane as well. So, basically whatever is made in the cell, that transports throughout the cell with the help of ER. Now, ER is of two types. You have got SER and RER. SER is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum that makes lipids, and rough endoplasmic reticulum makes the proteins. Okay? Rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes and it makes proteins. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum makes phospholipids. They also store calcium and helps in detoxification. It helps in removing any kind of toxins and harmful waste from the cells to outside the body. Okay? Endoplasmic reticulum. It is a network of tubules. Then we talk about the Golgi apparatus. It is a network of stacked flattened membrane bound sacs and vesicles. They help in the delivery system. So, basically, yes, Aarti, you are absolutely right. Camillo Golgi discovered this cell organelle, and that is why we call it the Golgi or the Golgi apparatus. It is the post office. It will help to make vesicles. It will pack, modify and distribute molecules from one location to the other. So, we call our endoplasmic reticulum as the assembly line, whereas we call the Golgi apparatus as our post office. Okay? Yes, they detoxify the liver. You are absolutely right, Hashir. Very good. Okay? So, you can see the Golgi over here, the Golgi apparatus, how it makes the vesicles. Okay? The proteins are modified in the Golgi. See how it is making a vesicle, and this vesicle goes and helps to make the cell membrane, or it helps to remove it from the body. See how it helps to remove. Then the next one are the lysosomes. They are called as the suicide bags. You can also call them as the housekeeping department. So, what they do is they contain an enzyme called hydrolase, which will break down the waste material and any kind of foreign object that enters the cell. They will burst and destroy the cell. So, if the cell is infected or damaged, the lysosome will burst open and destroy the entire cell, and that is why we call lysosomes as the suicide bags of the cell. Okay? You can see over here, this is a nutrient molecule which has entered the cell, and the phagosome will now be made by the lysosome. See, it just ate it away. So, that is your lysosome. It is the suicide bag. The next we have is a question, and that is, which of these is not related to endoplasmic reticulum? We know about endoplasmic reticulum, how it is the assembly line, how endoplasmic reticulum has rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So, which of these is not related to endoplasmic reticulum? It behaves as a transport channel for proteins. It transports material between various regions. It can be the site for energy generation, or it can be the site for biochemical activities. Which of these is not true? Very, very easy, super easy. I will give you 30 seconds, your time starts now. Okay. Five, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So, both Arati and Hashir have told C. Let me see whether C is the correct answer. Absolutely right. Yes, C is absolutely correct. Very good. Site for energy generation is mitochondria, where energy is generated in the form of ATP. ठीक है? So endoplasmic reticulum is a membranous network which has a liquid. You have got RER which makes proteins and SER which makes phospholipids. Mitochondria is the site for energy generation. Talking about vacuoles, so plants have a big vacuole with tonoplast, animals have many small vacuoles, ठीक है? Then plant vacuoles will give it a turgidity, they will give shape to the cell, they store waste, they store food and they store water, ठीक है? Yes, Hashir, you are right. So vacuoles will store food, water and waste. Whenever they get a chance, they remove the waste from the cell. They also give a shape and turgidity to the cell. In unicellular organisms, vacuoles have a very important role in nutrition and osmoregulation. Like if you talk about protists like amoeba, they have got a food vacuole which they create whenever they see food, and they have also got a contractile vacuole to store excess water. So in unicellular organisms, vacuoles have a very important role. ठीक है? So vacuoles are smaller in animal cells and they are very big in plant cells. Almost 70 to 90% of the plant cell volume is occupied by the vacuole, and it is filled with cell sap. The vacuole is filled with cell sap. Done? Read this, please read it once. एक बार पढ़ लीजिए इसको. चलिए, we move ahead and we talk about mitochondria. Now mitochondria and plastids are semi-autonomous. What do you mean by semi-autonomous? It means that they have got their own DNA, they have got their own functioning, and that is why we call them semi-autonomous. They have got their own genetic material. Inner membrane is thrown into folds called cristae. Sites of aerobic respiration and energy rich ATP is made over here. So mitochondria are called as the site, as the powerhouse of the cell. You can see the inner membrane has folds called cristae, and here energy is generated in the form of ATP. Oxygen comes in, it breaks down the glucose to release energy, that is adenosine triphosphate. ठीक है? So this ATP is the energy of the mitochondria. ठीक है? It is generated, it is the energy of humans. Humans also spend energy in the form of ATP. Now plastids, they are again semi-autonomous. Chloroplast, leucoplast, chromoplast, these are the three different types of plastids. Chloroplasts are the green ones, chromoplasts are yellow, orange, red, and leucoplasts are colorless. Leucoplasts are important for storing fats and oils. Chromoplasts for colors like yellow, brown and red, and chloroplasts are for green color. Chloroplasts also contain chlorophyll, which traps the sunlight. You can see this is a plastid, this is leucoplast, and this is chromoplast. Very important, leucoplast stores starch, oil and protein. Chlorophyll is green, chromoplast is yellow, orange, red. So chloroplast again is double membrane, it contains chlorophyll. There are thylakoids and grana over here. So you can see this is a chloroplast, it has a double membrane. This stack of coins that you can see, this stack of coins is called as a thylakoid, right? And each coin is called as a granum. ठीक है? These are called as lamellae or frets, the connections between two thylakoids, and the matrix or the cytoplasm is called stroma. Please read it once. So answer this question, it's very easy. Which of the following is not a function of the vacuole? Storage, providing turgidity and rigidity, waste excretion or locomotion. Which of these is not a function of the vacuole? Come on, super easy. Think and answer. 30 seconds. Chalo. The answer to the question is Hashir says D, locomotion. Absolutely right. You are absolutely correct. It is locomotion. Vacuole will store food, water, waste. They will give rigidity, they will give shape, they will give turgidity, but they have nothing to do with locomotion. For locomotion in a cell, we have cilia, flagella or pseudopodia. Right? So, vacuoles are single membrane. The membrane of the vacuole is called tonoplast. What do you call the membrane of the vacuole? It is called tonoplast. Okay? In some organisms like amoeba, there are two vacuoles. You have got food vacuole and contractile vacuole. Food vacuole is for food and contractile vacuole is to store excess water. Then nucleus, we have already discussed in detail about nucleus when I took a session on all about nucleus. Nucleus is the most important part of the cell, and because it's a VVIP, it has got double membrane called the nuclear membrane, inner and outer membrane, which is porous. The nucleus has also got a nucleolus. The nucleus has also got a nucleolus. You can see the nucleolus is the central part of the nucleus. It is meant for ribosome synthesis, and these thread like material which you are seeing, that is the chromatin. That is the chromatin. So nucleus contains DNA. A segment of the DNA is the gene. Humans have got almost 10,000 genes. For every character we have got genes. Okay? So nuclear envelope or the nuclear membrane, chromosomes and nucleolus. It is the darkest and the largest cell organelle. Okay? The pores help to passage like like molecules like proteins and RNA. They permit free passage of water, ions and ATP. So see, these are the pores of the nucleus. We are inside the nucleus now. These are the chromatin network, the chromosomes which can be clearly seen during cell division. See the double helix model of the DNA. And the central part of the nucleus is the nucleolus, and there is also a fluid. So between the nuclear membrane and the nucleolus there is a fluid, and that fluid is called as nucleoplasm. Nucleolus is in the center of the nucleus. It disappears when the cell is about to divide. It reappears after cell division. It is meant for RNA assembly or synthesis. So it does RNA assembly. You can see over here a beautiful 3D asset, right? See the nucleolus. Okay? Chromosomes. They are made of many chromatin threads, each containing DNA, proteins and genes. The genes tell us what we will be. So basically there are almost 10,000 genes in human beings. The organism with the maximum number of genes, can you give me any guesses that which organism will have the maximum number of genes in the world? Any guesses? Any guesses? Guess. Which organism do you think will have the maximum number of genes in the world? It is a fern, it is a plant, it is a fern which has the maximum number of genes in the world. Okay? Then chromosomes are made of DNA, protein, DNA and protein or RNA. What are chromosomes made of? Come on, very easy, super easy question. 30 seconds. What are chromosomes made of? DNA, protein, both or RNA? Hashir, Arathi, any guesses over here? डीएनए, प्रोटीन, बोथ और आरएनए? क्या लगता है आपको? चलिए जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is DNA and protein. ठीक है. Chromosomes are made of DNA and protein. What is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Chromosomes are thin thread-like structures present in the nucleus and visible during cell division. It is made of DNA. DNA stores all the information necessary for cell to function, grow and reproduce. Then we talk about centrosomes. So centrosomes are present only in animals, not in plants. So the region surrounding the centriole is called the centrosome, and animal and many protists have centrioles. Plants and fungi do not have a centriole. ठीक है. Centrosome is area where microtubules are produced during cell division. It divides and it moves to both parts of the cell. When you will learn about mitosis and meiosis in detail, you will see that how centrioles, they move to the sides and they create the spindle fibers on which the chromosomes align themselves. So this is a centrosome. The entire area of the centriole and microtubules, it is called as the centrosome. ठीक है. It is like pipes. Ribosomes. Ribosomes are meant for protein synthesis, and they are found either freely or they are on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. They make RNA and proteins. They are found in rows. ठीक है. So these are your ribosomes. They make proteins. Which of the following are amembranous cell organelles? Out of all the cell organelles that we study today, which of these do not have a membrane? Mitochondria, ribosome, plastid or lysosome. Which of these do not have a membrane? Mitochondria, ribosome, plastid or lysosome. What do you think? Come on. 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Fifteen seconds are up. Five, 4, 3, 2 and 1. The correct answer will be ribosomes. Ribosomes don't have a a membrane because they are either attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, forming the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or they are freely moving in the cytoplasm, and they are meant for protein synthesis. ठीक है. So organelles without membrane are ribosomes and centrosomes. With one membrane are vacuoles, lysosome, Golgi, endoplasmic reticulum, and with double membrane are your VIPs like your nucleus, mitochondria and chloroplast. What are microtubules? They are a part of the centrosomes, Hashir, and they are important during cell division. Then what is the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell? So we understood that eukaryotic cells are a little bigger. They have got cell organelles, they have a well defined nucleus and a nuclear membrane. They have got cell organelles with a membrane. They have DNA and they carry out mitosis or meiosis. But when I talk about prokaryotic cells, they are very small. They do not have a well defined nucleus or a nuclear membrane. They have got certain cell organelles. They carry out binary fission. So mostly they are into asexual reproduction. So that is your difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic. I'll give you 1 minute. Please go through this in detail. Super important. चलिए 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. ठीक है. So that was your prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell ka difference. Now we do one more question, find out the false sentence. So which of these is completely false? Golgi is involved in the formation of lysosomes. Nucleus, mitochondria and plastid have their own DNA, and that is why they are also semi-autonomous. Mitochondria is the powerhouse for energy generation, and cytoplasm is called as protoplasm. Which of these is false? Which of these is false? Super easy. After knowing the entire chapter, I think this is like a cakewalk. Which of these is the correct answer? 30 seconds. Which of these is false? इसमें से गलत कौन सा है? Come on, quick, very quick. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. The false one will be option D. Cytoplasm is not the protoplasm. Cytoplasm is a part of the protoplasm. Cytoplasm is a part of the protoplasm. The living substance of the cell is called the protoplasm. Huxley identified protoplasm as the physical substrate of life. It consists nucleus, cell membrane and cytoplasm. Basically your entire cell is the protoplasm. ठीक है? It was coined by Perkinch in the year 1839. Now guys, we come to the end. Do not forget to give a quick visit on the Embibe page, which is your one-stop destination for anything and everything that a student can ever ask for. Whether it is test, assignment, study material, whether it is question, solution, explanation to the solution, whether it is reference books, NCERT books, anything and everything, Embibe page is your go-to place. Apart from that, also join us on Telegram, because here you will get to ask your doubts, you will get the notes of the sessions, you will get the PDF documents, you will also get you will get the timetable of the channel. Basically whatever is happening on the Embibe Achieve CBSE class 9, 10, 10 channel, your Telegram page will help you to know about it. So join us on Telegram, do stay connected, and if you have liked this video, give this video a big fat thumbs up, share this video with your friends and school WhatsApp groups of grade 9. Also guys, subscribe to the channel because it's absolutely free of cost. And till then, this is Pritesh, your host, your dose and a proud educator from Embibe, signing off for now, only to see you soon. But till then, take care of yourselves, stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed, and do not forget to keep imbibing.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.